Hi everyone, it's me, Chantay. I'm here with my, spreadiel, my stuff, on this Tuesday, September 1st, 2020. We're in the 9th month of the year. It feels slow. It just feels so slow. It does. It feels mighty slow. It's been feeling slow for quite a while, but I'm going to give you numbers on the coronavirus. Not going to be too long, so here we are. Globally, we are at 25,600,000 let's repeat that. So we have 25,650,801 cases globally in 188 countries, with our death toll at 854,596. Our cases at home here in the U.S. is at 6,072,871, with our death toll is at 184,629. This comes from the Johns Hopkins website. On MSNBC, it says 185,000, but according to the Johns Hopkins website, when I look at myself and when I refresh it, it still says as of 9/28 on September 1st, it says 184,629. So that's where we are. Countries with the highest cases, Brazil has 3.9, so exact is 3,950,931. India has 3,691,166. Russia has 997,072. I'm pretty sure by tomorrow they'll be in the millions, and if so, they'll be the fourth country in the millions, along with, of course, here at home in the U.S., Brazil, and India. Peru is at 652,031. South Africa is at 259. Mexico is at Colombia is at 615,094. Then Mexico is at 606,036. Spain is at 470,923. And the Latin American countries, we know that Peru is now the highest. You have Ecuador at 114,309. Dominican Republic, 94,979. Panama, 93,552. Guatemala, 74,893. Honduras, 61,014. And El Salvador, 25,820. Nigeria has 54,247. Guyana has 44,460. Kenya has 34,315. Cameroon has 19,409. Senegal has 13,655. And Gambia has 3,029. Haiti has 8,230. Jamaica has 2,459. Bahamas has 2,274. Trinidad and Tobago has 1,797. Some of these numbers have went up drastically tonight, because I think I got some of the numbers if I can compare them to, where is it? So yesterday Jamaica was at 2,357. Today they went up by 100 cases. And the Bahamas went up very drastically by 2,000 and some odd cases. They went up by 1,000 cases, by like 1,000 and some change. Because yesterday they was at 2,100. Today they had 22, almost damn near 2,300. So that's very telling. Guyana is at 1,373. Belize is at 1,050. Barbados is at 176. Antigua's at 94. St. Vincent's at 91. St. Lucia remains at 26. Grenada still remains at 24. Dominica still remains at 20. And, of course, still holding at 17 to St. Kitts. So there you have it. Here at home in the States, according to the New York Times COVID map, we have California leading the pack of states with 716,298 cases of COVID-19. Texas at 640 645,275. Florida has 631,032. New York has 440,237. Georgia has 256,544. Illinois has 239,115. Arizona 202,375. New Jersey has 194,070. North Carolina has 169,939. Tennessee has 153,274. And Louisiana has 149,045. They round at that top 11, but you have places like North Carolina at 121,615 and South Carolina at 119,846. So this is where we are with COVID. Of course, there's no national coordinated response. I don't have to say that like a million times, but it's the truth. Also with Trump's visit, he went to Kenosha today. He did not meet with the Blake family. As you guys know, Jacob Blake was shot fatally 7 times in his back as he was getting in the car with his kids. And I would think it was his eldest son's birthday, and he was shot in his back 7 times and close to the spine. He is suffering from bullet fragments, some bowel issues, and stuff with his kidney, all hosts of other complications. He's still fighting for his life. He's paralyzed from the waist down. Not sure he's ever going to walk again. Like, this is serious. And Donald Trump did not go and see him, which we all not surprised. If you're from New York City, and I keep saying this because why you keep saying this, Chantay? Because I grew up in New York City. I grew up 20 minutes away from Donald Trump's office. Where I live at now, I live only about 10 minutes away, 15 minutes away walking distance. But as a train distance, I grew up 20 minutes away in Harlem. That man never went to any black neighborhood that I know of. So I'm not surprised that he will have sympathy for Jacob Blake Jr. And when his uncle was asked about, have you heard word from the president, aka Donald Trump, he said, we don't need that orange man to come over here with his disrespectful language. And it's true. And their time of need, as they're coping with Jacob and his possible new life, that if he's, still is alive to leave the office, as he does not die in hospital, which we pray he doesn't lose his life through his complications. They're trying to fight for justice for him. They're trying to adjust to his new life, as I said. And Donald Trump will add fuel to the fire. Even the governor of Wisconsin urged him not to come. And he came anyway because Donald Trump think he's above the law and always thought he was above the law before he even ran for political office. That man thought he used to get away with so much. He had to settle in court so many times for screwing business leaders over and over and average people for all the messed up stuff that he has done as a businessman. So I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised he thinks that it should be an investigation into Jacob, which Jacob Blake was trying to stop women in the street from fighting. Got in his car just because there was a knife in his car. People carry blades in their car. My father carries a blade with him all the time. My father's a senior citizen. People think they can rob senior citizens. Probably Jacob carried that for protection. People carry things for protection. Mace. Because you got crazy folks out here. And you do. Not saying he will use it on anybody, but he will rob people, especially in this time with no jobs and food insecurities and people left homeless in the street. Yeah, do the math. But yeah, I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised at that. In terms of a steer in a different conversation, on a lighter, better note, because I don't want to spend my time ever talking about this man. Biden and Harris had a conversation today, and it was a socially distant conversation, and it was about the following. To address, her experience at the time as an AG and as a Californian, as a DA, he asked why taking this position, do you feel like taking whatever he said to her, and she responded, she said, I'm happy, this was not a hard decision. And they talked about issues of black home ownership, how her mother saved up money because they were renters all their lives to buy a home, and she felt proud in that moment, and she felt proud for her and her sister felt proud for their mother, because their mother was a single mom when Kamala Harris was very young. And she explained the importance of Medicare, how her mother died from cancer, and how, I'm going to quote her, it's immoral and inhumane, when she addressed people losing their homes from this global pandemic. And she's right. This administration and their executive order does not really address the problems. You doing this executive order doesn't mean that million Americans are going to lose their home, are going to have enough money to eat, to get food, especially agriculture. A lot of people like to cook fresh foods. They don't really like to necessarily use canned food. So the fact is that he doesn't care if people doesn't have relief, a roof over their head, or food to eat. It's very concerning. And Kamala Harris was right. And so is Joe Biden. They also, both of them, most so Joe, blasted Donald Trump for his mishandling of COVID-19. True, I just addressed it. So, as I always stated the numbers for COVID-19, over 6 million are infected with the virus. Nearly 185,000 people are dead. No relief. Food insecurity. And no sign of ever getting out of this pandemic. There's no national strategy to combat COVID-19. As other countries are containing their coronavirus, most other countries, the U.S. has refused, more so the White House has refused to listen to their scientists and other medical experts. So Donald Trump has once again put this country at a very bad standstill. Like Joe Biden said, he has not created the coronavirus, but he damn sure neglected the response. So all this talk about Donald Trump, he banned travel over China, that don't mean shit when it's all been here and already here, and you was offered test kits. And there was a news alert today saying that he refuses to seek help once again from the World Health Organization as they continue to reach out, which if I was a World Health Organization, I would just be like, I'm not reaching out to you, Donald Trump, because you are just horrible. It's time for your ass to go. And it is. He also talked about, Joe Biden, that the election day should be a national holiday. It should. For all jobs. So in all places, not just schools, so people can actually go and vote. And talk about unveiled plans of 4 more years of free tuition to families, for kids that is living families, making under $125,000 and less. And they also will invest $70 billion in HBCU. I never went to HBCU, but if this policy is around, if I ever have children, I would want my daughter to go to a HBCU. And there needs to be more HBCUs up north than just the south, because a lot of the HBCUs are in the south, and there needs to be more HBCUs in the north. I hope, the Biden campaign really takes that to heed. Because the one HBCU that I know that's up north is Lincoln University in Pennsylvania. Thus far. So, but the conversation was really good. It was a really good conversation. And I just got a statistic right here. 6 out of 10 jobs in America requires a more than a high school diploma. And that's true. And that's why it's important to make public college free for people that make under $25,000 and less. And that's most Americans. Let's be quite frank. That's most Americans. Not just the working poor, but middle class families. Middle class income is between 55 to 125,000. Let's be real. Seriously. So that conversation was great. But last thing. So like I said, I watched the verses last night, and I watched it between Brandy and Monica. It was good. He was saying, oh, Chantay, you're not declaring a winner. No. Even though I was never really too much a big fan of Brandy growing up, but I appreciate the music more often since I got older. And I always liked the first 2 albums, more so the first album to me. I think that was the best album of Brandy's career. But I listened to some of the new stuff on her independent album, which I didn't know she was an independent artist. It's kudos for her. Some of the stuff actually sounds like first Brandy album, and she's using the same logo, which is good. Glad she's using the same logo. It's the best thing she did. But it was good. I downloaded Trenches for Monica. It's a very catchy song. Very, very catchy song. But for people to be still messy on the internet, I just got news for you. If you watch 3 full hours without taking a break and using the bathroom, you would realize that both women have love for each other. They both addressed, what happened. Monica made sure she was clear, concise, and honest. They both appreciate each other's music and artistry. And there's a video clip back then where they were all vibing with one another. So saying that Monica did not want to be there, she didn't want to sing, Monica was vibing. Brandy, that's just how Brandy vibes. They vibe differently, but they enjoyed each other's company. So to all you internet people, stop being messy. Just stop. That's all I'm saying. Just stop being messy. So I end this live tonight. Just vote. Vote like your life depends on it. Don't sit out this election. Because if what you call it tried to steal election again and saying that I knew who was going to win, I don't want to hear you complain about your checks, your taxes, or anything. Don't bring your conversation to me. So when you don't vote and this asshole try to get in again and things go left because you did not vote for Biden and Harris and you wanted to sit out and vote and Donald Trump hypothetically gets elected again, don't come to me with your complaints because I'll cut you off real quick. But until then, have a good night.